Hi everyone, my name's Shawful and welcome to another one of my videos where I talk about the real world of data. So today we're going to cover part 2 of being a data analyst, okay? So a beginner's guide to data analytics or data analytics for beginners, okay? So this is part 2. So in part 1 what we covered was, do you have an aptitude for data? Do you like data? Do you use sort of spreadsheets in your personal life? If so, then you may, if you're thinking about being a data analyst, then it's a good career choice, okay? So in part 2 what we're going to cover is learning another tool. So in part 1 you've familiarized yourself with Excel, you've learned how to do very standard and intermediate functions in Excel. In part 2 we're going to talk about learning SQL or structured query language or SQL. Whatever the term is, it is all the same, okay? So if you aren't in a job as a data analyst because you're watching this video because you want to learn how to be a data analyst, it's unlikely you'll have access to SQL, okay? Now normally SQL is used by companies to access databases, so you will use that this programming language, it's called a structured query language, to query databases, okay? And usually to extract data, analyze it, transform it, and be able to provide insights from it, okay? So if you don't have access to SQL, obviously most of you won't, there are online simulators where you can go and you can get the basic understanding of it. Now in this video I'm not here to make you an expert in SQL. What I'm going to give you is an understanding of why you need SQL so that you can go off and learn it. In the comment section below or in the video description I will put down a link to an online SQL simulator that you can use, okay? So therefore you can understand how it works. A very easy or a very common statement in SQL is select star from and give the name of the table. The star means select everything and it will select everything. But as you use these online simulator, you will get used to it, okay? You can Google and find other references for SQL. There's lots out there, but you should learn how to do grouping. You need to do where statements. So for example, in the table, you just want to select, let's say, conditions that have this kind of variable. So, if the town is London, so give me from a table of all addresses, just towns that are, or cities that are London, okay? But there are other things that SQL can do. It's very powerful. But what you want to do as a beginner is just learn the basics so that if you were to go for an interview and you were asked to do an SQL test, they will ask you to do the basics and you should be able to do those basics. Like I said, I'll give a description or a link to an online simulator in the description below, in the video description below, so you can go off and play with it. But like I said, learn things like where statements, group by, filter, those kind of stuff, okay? And then you can run other things on fields that can be calculated. So you might say group by city and give me average temperature or maximum temperature or even the sum of temperature, whatever it is. You can do those kind of analysis in SQL. So it's essentially what we learned in the SQL, or what I asked you to do in the SQL, in the Excel example in part 1 is literally trying to replicate that in part 2, okay? And that will give you a feeling for how SQL works, okay? And once you know how it works, you can go off and do your own research and you can then learn more and more statements. Now if you're feeling brave, then you can go to Microsoft's website and I think Oracle's website and download their version of SQL, but at the moment, at this time, I wouldn't suggest it, only because it'll be blank and you'd have to update your own data and it's quite complicated. Complicated, but it takes a long time to do that. So just go to the online simulators and learn how to use SQL. In future videos I might do a short sort of tutorial on how to get started with SQL, but for this video all I'm really saying is learn SQL, okay? There's lots of resources out there that you can look at, and again I'll put a link to some of those below, but learn the basics and you'll find that things like selecting from tables, grouping variables, selecting certain fields or rows from tables, summing up certain columns. They're the kind of stuff that you will be asked to do quite often. So let's see if you can do those in those sample tables that are given on the online simulators. The other thing you should learn at the same time as you're doing that is to get more proficient with Excel, okay? So let's say, for example, you've done all of those calculations on your raw data. You want to now look at, see if you can summarize and aggregate that data, okay? And one of the best ways to do that is to put it into tables, put it into graphs or charts, okay? So see if you can create graphs and charts. I mean, again, I'm happy to do a short tutorial in another video to show you, but in this one what I want to do is really get you up and started knowing what to do in order to move forward with being a data analyst. So a lot of online resources out there about using Excel. Have a look at some of them. Again, I'll try and do another video where I list those, where I try and take you through some short tutorials, but try and learn how to create graphs, charts, and very nice tables. And again, when you're building these graphs and charts, have a look how you can format the color. Literally, it is as simple as if you click on the bar, you'll find a palette turns up on the right hand side, and you can change the color of that bar chart to any color you want, and play around with it. Make sure that you're able to create those bars and charts that look really neat. Okay, then the next step is see if you can create them into some kind of report. Now obviously you haven't got an end client who's asking for something, but just think to yourself, you know what, I've got a table, I'm going to try and create, I've done some analysis on it, so I've created some sums or averages, or I've aggregated something or grouped or summarized something. I'm now going to create a graph and a chart from it and see if you can sort of present that in a nice report. Okay, now once you've done that, the next thing to see if you can do is, can you automatically update the data, or automatically update the tables by overriding the data? And what I mean here is, let's say you have a table that's got 4 columns and 10 rows. Okay, so you've got that table and you create your graphs and charts from it. Then what you do is create another table with 4 columns and 10 rows, just random data, and copy and paste it on top of the old table, and your new graphs and charts should update. Okay, with the new data. So those graphs and charts should update with the new data. Okay, see if you can do things like that. It's only by playing around like that can you see where you make mistakes, can you see where things don't work. Okay, and then you just a matter of troubleshooting. Okay, now one of the things that you will find out when you do this is that sometimes the columns don't stay in the format that you want them to. So for example, the date format might change from date to number when you pasted it over. So you're going to have to work out, okay, when I paste it over, I need to keep the existing format. And when you right click and paste, you'll see that Excel has an option that says keep existing format, and you'll learn those kind of stuff. The other thing is, for example, you find that your numbers are stored as text or general, and you want them to be recognized as numbers, so that when you graph them, they actually are represented as numbers, not as something else. So what you might find is that if you highlight those cells and you right click, you can format the cells. Okay, and when you format the cells, you find that there's loads of options. You can format into string or a text, you can format as a general number, you can format as a currency. You'll find that if you format it as a currency, it starts putting a dollar or a pound sign before it, but you want it as a number, so you would right click, go to format cell and look for number. Again, I'll try and do a short tutorial to talk you guys through how to do some of this stuff in a future video. So that's it really for part 2. So for part 2, like I said, learn SQL. Again, I'll give you the link to an online simulator in the in the description below, and then get more proficient with Excel. Thank you for listening to my video. Look out for part 3, where I'll tell you about the final things that you need to know in order to be a data analyst. Okay.